Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to gorgeous Lima, Peru. How's everybody doing this fine afternoon? Happy Mother's Day. Unfortunately, this isn't quite as good as real life, but you know, it is just AI generated scenery, so it is not bad for what it is. Parking spots aren't exactly painted where they're supposed to be, but that's okay. So as you guys have noticed, we are not in the US today. We are in Peru. Gorgeous, gorgeous Peru. Starting our flight here in Lima. First flight is going to be from here in Lima down to Cusco. And then we're going to be going from Cusco all the way down to Puerto Maldonado. So we're going to get the coast, we're going to get the highlands, and we are going to get the Amazon all in one. It's going to be a gorgeous flight today. Let's go ahead and start by turning our power on. Let's get our battery switches on. Crew oxygen supply, turn that on. And let's get the APU started. Nav and logo lights can come on. Let's get the no smoking sign on. And let's arm the emergency exit lights. We'll get our interior lights set up as well. Get a little bit of flood. So yes, we started a little bit later than I was originally planning on starting, but that is okay. I had some things to do. Obviously it is Mother's Day, so I was spending time with my mom, cooking her breakfast, went grocery shopping for her. Just trying to do something nice, you know? Alright, everything is starting up. Looks like we got 6 minutes to the IRS alignment, which is fine. Let's start plugging in our flight plan today. I am flying in the Vatsim network, but being that we are in Peru, there is nobody online at the moment. So we'll hit our internet request right here, and we got our uplink from Vatsim, or not Vatsim, from SimBrief. We'll go over here to the IRS init page, and we'll align on ref. I've been flying the CRJ so much the past few days, I'm looking for the CRJ buttons. Awesome. Alright, while that's aligning, let's go to our flight plan page and let's program our departure and arrival. So we'll be departing runway 16. That's funny, I knew they have it as 15. They don't have the SID. Oh no. Let's go ahead and insert that. So we'll just be going direct to Packle, which is fine. And then over here in Cusco, we'll be arriving on the RNAV runway 28 via the Dark 1 Charlie. Let me see real quick. Wait. I'm trying to find which one I want to join in on. Okay, yeah, from Darky. Okay. Cool. And then we got no transition there. We will click insert. Awesome. Let's go ahead and look through... Oh, I can't look through plan mode yet. Can I? I can. Okay, cool. Well, let's look through plan mode, make sure everything looks good. Yep, everything looks as it should. Cool. Alright, let me go ahead and put our fuel in. So, our block fuel today is going to be 11,561 pounds. That's good enough for me. We'll go ahead and put that in. Perfect. And now we can come on over here and we can set our zero fuel weight and get our plan block. Confirm that. Let everything set in. Perfect. Let's go to our performance page. Flaps 1 up 1.5. Flex the temp. Let's do 50. And let's get our view speeds. Alright, cool. Now, that all looks good. Okay, our FMC is set. Let's make sure that we set our QNH. Today will be in HPA. QNH here in Lima is going to be 1014. Or 299.3. Alright, looks like our IRSs are aligned. So, let me make sure that there's nothing else that we got to do here. Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for pushback. We can turn our fuel pumps on. Go ahead and get the fasten seatbelt sign on. Get the beacon light on. And let's go ahead and call for a pushback.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
We are going to be taxiing from the gate via Alpha 1, Bravo. Usually we wouldn't be taking this route because there'd be parked planes over in that area, but being that the AIG hasn't actually put any planes over there, we're just going to go right on through. Let's go ahead and lock our door.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. The parking brakes are set. You may lift. Parking brakes set. Lifting the aircraft.
They're going to lift it up, and then we're going to go ahead and release the parking brakes here.
We are cleared for start and push. Okay, cleared for push start. Parking brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence. It will start in the sequence.
Make sure that we get that plugged in. 39,000 is going to be our cruising altitude today. And we can give number 2 a start.
All exits are clearly marked with a sign overhead. If necessary, glare level lighting will illuminate the aisles, helping find the exit. Please take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten the straps on both sides. Even though the bag may not inflate, oxygen will be flowing. Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others.
Now the approach into Cusco is going to be a fun one today, folks. I have personally been to this airport. I've been to all 3 of these airports, actually. That's why I chose this flight plan. And Cusco Airport is right in the middle of the city, so you can only land one direction, you can only take off one direction, and there's buildings all around you. Not to mention there isn't an IRS, it is all VNAV. And we'll start number 1.
Showing light above your seat. We're here to make sure you have a safe and comfortable flight. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you...
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake. Parking brake set. Parking brake set.
Hope everybody's been having a good Mother's Day, having a good afternoon. Here in Chicago, it's been a gorgeous day so far.
Disconnect. Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight. Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Now, Latam does actually fly A320neos on these routes, so this is true to life. Our call sign today is going to be the call sign 2342. That's the call sign that they usually use flying from here in Lima to Cusco, and we're just going to continue that same call sign all the way into Puerto Maldonado. So let's go ahead and set our flaps 1. Let's get our transponder on before I forget. First, let's get our weather on. Now we'll get our transponder on over here. I don't know why it's at 7,000. There we go. That's what it's usually at on default, so that's just what I set it to. We'll go ahead and get our taxi lights on. We can get the APU shut off. Let's set our ignition mode off. Parking brakes off. Actually, hold on. Before I forget, parking brakes, we'll leave those on. Let's do our flight controls check. Full forward. Full back. Full left. Full right. Now let's go full right rudder. Full left rudder. Perfect. Alright. Let us go ahead and get on out of here. Parking brake released. Let's start our taxi. Hope everybody's been having a good day so far. I know I've said it multiple times. Please do feel free to say hi in the chat. I am watching the chat today. And here we take Alpha all the way down. We are nearing the end of the runway. Let's go ahead and flip our lights on.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
And we'll start slowing down and turn onto the runway here. Let's make sure there's nobody coming. I don't see anybody. So let's get going. I'm going to follow the same takeoff procedures that I did when I flew these flights. Couldn't find the toggle right there for a second. Alrighty, we got V1 to rotate. I like to wait a little bit because it always likes to give me V1 to rotate really early. Positive rate will get those gear up. We can go ahead and get our flaps up as well.
Traffic.
Go ahead and set to climb mode. We can engage the autopilot. Goodbye, Lima. Now here in Peru, their transition altitude is 10,000 feet. So that's when we switch on over to standard mode. We'll set it on over to standard there. Now, for those of you that don't know, LATAM, the airline that we are flying today, they are the biggest airline conglomerate in South America, if I'm saying that correctly. I know that there are a group of different airlines that join together to form LATAM, and they are the biggest in South America. Now, I've flown them multiple times. I flew them when I was down there in Brazil. I flew them when I was down in Peru. They have wonderful service, excellent flights, and they, from what I could see, they mostly fly Airbuses. I believe they have some Boeings for their longer haul flights, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that for all their shorter, more regional flights, it's definitely all Airbuses. Right, I'm just looking at my charts right now, and I'm going to make sure that everything in here is set up correctly. So you want to be at Z0682. Wait. Yeah, Z0682. Oh, we're not on that one though. We're coming by the other one. Okay. So 250 here, this is supposed to be okay. And then we want to be and then at 582 we want to be at 210. And then it's going to be down to 17, yep. And then 15.4. And that is at 573. Oh, yep, that's already plugged in. Oh, yep, okay, cool. It's got everything else as we should. Perfect. All right, we have our approach plugged in. It'd be nice if I could talk normally. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me see, our airtime today was scheduled for just about 3 to 5 minutes under an hour, so about 55 minutes to 58 minutes. So we should be on the ground here in no time. It's going to be a nice short flight. Now it is going to be bumpy for most of the flight, being that we are flying over the Andes. And let me tell you, these are some pretty tall mountains. Now let's go ahead and grab our data for... Ooh, sorry about that. Did not mean to zoom in on the sim. Let's grab our data for Cusco. So I can plug it into our landing page here. $1028 is going to be our QNH. So let's see what that would be. $3036. We'll plug in. It is pretty high up there. Cusco's altitude is it's almost 13,000 feet, so it's pretty high up there. 20 degrees Celsius. Winds are 020 at 8. Or no, 280 at 8. Transition altitude is going to be 18,000. Or no, it's actually going to be 10,000. But we're not even going to get there. And then, let me see if we have a Peru. It is going to be 11.8. Now, let me get the actual altitude of the airport here. Let me see if my charts will actually say it. 10,860. It is at the bottom end of the city, and the city only goes up. So darky, we want to be at 250. So we'll start descending at Pavlo, P-O-V-L-O, down to 250. But we'll start descending just a little bit before that top descent marker. It is not a very long flight from Lima to Cusco, as we've already established, but we do have a crosswind. Or not a crosswind, I mean a tailwind, sorry about that. Not much of a tailwind, but there is one, and that is going to help us just a slight bit. I never turned off our landing lights. Of all the things to forget though, at least it's only that. Could have been much worse. And we have reached our cruising altitude. Let's go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. Oh, that's just a click button. In the Aerosoft, the fasten seatbelt is also on, auto, off. Or it's like off in the middle, auto's down, on is up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Wonderful. We're about 80 miles from Pablo. Yeah, this is the part of the flight that most YouTube videos usually cut out, because it's kind of the slow, more quiet, relaxing part of the flight. I typically like to just be a little bit more chill, let the music do the talking for me. Until we get more people populated in the chat, there's not really much to talk about. So we're just going to kick back and relax. For those of you watching in the future, watching the playbacks on YouTube or Twitch or whatnot, feel free to watch through, or you can go ahead and skip to our arrival. Either way, I hope that everybody's been enjoying the stream and everybody continues to enjoy the streams. I'm definitely having a lot of fun streaming and just a lot of fun flying in general. I love being able to share my experiences with the world, even if it's only a few people who get to see it. Now, I hope that everybody's excited for the PMDG 737, as excited as I am. They have announced it will be released tomorrow, so you guys already know that we will be live tomorrow, as I will be making full... wow, tripped over my words there. As I will be making a fool of myself, trying to fly that thing after years of not flying the 737. It's been about 2-3 years since I've flown one in a simulator. But it is still, the 737 is still the aircraft I have the most amount of hours in. I've taken quite a big hiatus from flight sim up until recently. Just had a lot going on in life. Now, I know that I said I wasn't going to go ahead and switch the QNH, but I think that I will, and I think I'm going to switch it right at around 20,000 feet. So let me just plug that in down here. I know I'm probably doing this incorrectly here, but I'm just going to plug it in that way this time. I just want to make sure that we don't have the wrong altitudes as we're coming into land. That's all. Go ahead and set our auto brakes. We will want medium today. It's not the longest runway over there in Cusco. Not to mention it's also higher altitudes. Let's see what the Vatsim chat is. Cessna 208 just landed over there in Cusco. No, not Cusco. Runway nearby. SPCL. Not sure which runway that is. Or airport, I mean. Not sure what airport that is. Now what I say we were descending down to... I said we were descending down to 25,000 feet. And we'll wait till we're about 20 miles from our top of descent. That's when we will start our actual descent down. And we will turn on the fasten seatbelt sign as we start to descend. While we're coming around these mountains, it is definitely going to be bumpy. But that's just the nature of mountain flying. Now, I'm not going to be able to see the chat for much. I will be having my charts up on the other page, and I'll be looking more at my charts than I will the chat. Just because this area is uncontrolled, and we will be on our own for the descent. Now we definitely don't want to follow or start our descent too soon. We will be following the valley down, kind of coming over some mountains in the beginning, but then coming through the valley and down to land. And we'll be coming right through past the peaks, kind of making our way through little cracks here and there. So as we get to about 20 miles from the top of descent that the aircraft had decided, we will go ahead and start our descent. Let's go ahead and get the fasten seatbelt sign on. Now because we're landing so high, we're going to go ahead and turn our landing lights on at 20,000.
Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
All right. Let's go ahead and arm the auto, or the ground spoilers, I mean. Now, fun fact, these white snow-capped mountains that you're seeing up ahead of us, those are actually glaciers. The mountains that you see with snow caps here in Peru are high enough and they have a thick enough shelf of ice that they are considered glaciers. I'm not sure if shelf is the right term, but they definitely have thick enough snow and ice to be considered glaciers. And they provide a lot of the drinking water to the country, at least up in the highlands. Alright. We are catching the VNAV path now. We can go ahead and plug in 12.7, and the VNAV should take us down step by step. It would be nice to have a working terrain radar, but unfortunately that is not the case. Now we will be hand flying the landing here in Cusco. Should make for a fun experience. I was right on the spot, 3036. Down here. Now I am keeping more of a sterile cockpit right now. This is definitely a much more hands-on approach. So I am trying to make sure I watch everything very closely and make sure that we are on track how we are supposed to be. A lot of mountains. We're flying into a valley. We really got to make sure that our altitudes are on point. Alright, perfect. Our VNAV is working as it should. Okay, cool. I was just making sure I had our speed restriction already plugged in there. And it does. Lovely. Looking at the chat here real quick. Yeah, we don't have any messages at the moment. Now, I've been really struggling with my streaming this week. Unfortunately, nothing wanted to save to YouTube all in one. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, everything's been going well so far this stream, so I'm hoping that this can be the first stream that'll actually save all as one video. And I'm definitely hoping that YouTube will bring more people to the live streams. We stream every day on the weekdays, starting at 7 p.m. I usually go live at 6:45 to let people start populating before we start at 7. And that's Central Time, Chicago time. The weekends times will vary, but if you go ahead and follow my Twitter, I always tweet out before I stream, or I tweet out as I go live. So you'll get the tweet 15 minutes before we start everything up. Now I keep bringing my range in because everything gets real close as we get up to the airport. So we're going to pass these two waypoints and start descending down to 210. And at the next waypoint, we're down to 170, 17,000, and we got to descend to 200, or slow down to 225 knots. So now we should start dropping down to 21,000. There we go. Gotta love when everything goes as it should for once. I'm going to go ahead and arm some speed brake. And we will definitely be using our speed brake after this waypoint to slow down to 225. Make sure that we can keep descending as we slowing down, or as we're slowing down. Because we definitely need to be at 17,000 by that intersection. We hold at 25,000 and then it's just down, down, down as quick as possible. Yeah, as you guys can see, we are just dodging the mountains as we come down, barely missing the tops of them. So our QNH was 1028. And we'll go ahead and throw on those speed brakes again. And go ahead and turn our, we will go ahead and turn our landing lights on. Still got our speed brakes out as we're trying to slow ourselves down. We need to be at 225 max when we get to this waypoint. 50 is the max that we can set while we're flying. That's right. So we are going to be a little bit fast as we pass the waypoint, but we are slowing down to 225 as we speak. Or actually, no, we're slowing down to our landing altitude here, our approach altitude. But that is okay. It'll be good to slow down, get some drag, get ourselves a little bit more time as we descend here. We really need to keep this, keep slowing ourselves down, because if we can't, our landing system isn't going to keep bringing us down at the speed we need it to.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Alright, perfect. We have everything deployed. I can go ahead and bring our speed brake in. And we will arm the ground spoilers. And now we're going to follow this little bit of a valley in until we turn in towards the airport. And we're gonna just crest over the right side of this mountain here as we come in. It definitely gets close, but we will be able to clear it.
2,500.
Gorgeous.
$2,500.
Now we're going to be making our right turn over here. And we'll go ahead and set our range into 10 now. And as we come around this curve here, we should start to see the field. I know that we don't have an ILS on this approach, but yeah, actually I don't even know why I turned that on.
$2,500. $2,500.
Yeah, I still don't have the field.
2,500.
We keep getting that call. Oh, there it is. I have it now. We keep getting that call out because we're flying over mountains and the terrain below us keeps changing. We'll let the aircraft drop down to 12,700 and then I'll take over.
$2,500.
Alrighty, my aircraft. We'll go ahead and actually set auto brakes 1. We're coming in slow enough that that should be just fine.
Hundred above, 1,000. Minimum.
And we're landing. In real life, I both arrived and departed here in Cusco at nighttime, so it's actually pretty cool to be able to see it during the day.
$400. 300. 200. 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cusco. Go ahead and get those reversers off. And auto brakes off, and we will vacate here to the left. Well, that was a much smoother landing than I experienced in real life, that's for sure. But welcome to Cusco. And as a matter of fact, this is actually a realistic amount of traffic for Cusco right at the moment. When I was there, there was only 1 or 2 aircraft at the airport at a time, if that. Most of the time there wasn't even that. Aircraft only come here to disembark, re-embark, and then depart. Alrighty. Alright, follow the marshal's signals. Let me get this APU turned on. I forgot to start it up. So we'll keep our beacon light on for just a moment. Once the APU is started, we will shut our engines down. We'll call for the jetway. And we will start the disembarking. Now, as per usual, folks, we are going to take about a 5 to 10 minute break here as we do our turnaround before I start back up towards Puerto Maldonado. You know, I try to stream for about 3 hours at a time, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less. And it's nice, you know, right in the middle for everybody to be able to go up, use the bathroom, maybe get a drink and a snack. That's usually what I'm doing, is getting a drink, getting a snack, using the bathroom, seeing if my dogs need anything, and, you know, whatever it might be. Alright, APU is on. Let's shut these engines off, and we will get our beacon light off. Microsoft's going to give us the little message. Okay. Let's go ahead and request the jetway. We'll request baggage as well. And let's get the fasten seatbelt sign off. Alrighty folks, we will be right back. All right, we are back. Let me go ahead and grab our flight plan real quick. Still just grabbing everything over here. Sorry if I'm being a little bit quiet, guys. All right. I have us a route. We'll be flying today at flight level 230. Flying through the valley, I believe. Our airtime today, actually, it's only going to be 35 minutes. It is a very short flight from Cusco to Puerto Maldonado. So, not going to be too much longer on the stream today. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get ourselves pre-flighted here. Just getting my chart set in now. Perfect. So, we'll go to our init page and we'll get our init request. Perfect, everything coming in from SimBrief. Go to wind temp. Oh, what altitude's that at? Fuck, I don't know. Oh, that's our climb wind, yeah. Well, I'm not sure how to grab that. I don't know where to go to grab that, so we'll just leave that blank. Let's go to our flight plan page. Make sure that we plug in SPZO departure, runway 10. And we don't have any SID. We're going direct to Kimore. And then at SPTU, we are going to be arriving on the ILS runway 1. ILS Alpha runway 1, I believe. Let me double check. Or the ILS Bravo. Yeah, we'll take the ILS 1 Bravo. No star, no transition. So let's go ahead and step through our plan real quick. You know what? No, let's go ahead and try the ILS Alpha. and we'll insert that. Okay. Okay, so we want to delete PDO and then clear the disco. Okay. That's what we wanted. Perfect. Alrighty. We can go back to ARC now. Let's come on over here and let's plug in our fuel. They want us to have a block of 10,368 pounds. That's close enough for me, so we'll go ahead and load that in. Now let's come on over here. We'll go to our fuel prepared page, put in our 0 fuel weight, and we'll get our block. Oh, we'll get our fuel planning there. Confirm. Awesome. Let's go to our performance page. Flap set 1, up 1.5. Flex to temp. We'll leave that blank this time. I've noticed that it doesn't really do anything here, so go figure. Alright. So we can go ahead and pre-plan our pushback. I can just push us back like that. Let's go ahead and get the baggage cart away. And let's get the jetway away. We'll go ahead and turn the fasten seatbelt sign on. Get our beacon light on. And we'll call for pushback. I never did raise my flaps from the last flight. That's okay. We'll just set our flaps to 1, so once we get started up, we should be ready to go. Looks like our pushback tug is going to do the kind of glitched out thing where it doesn't want to do the normal pushback procedure. I'm just waiting for this door to close here. And once they get our once they get that door closed, which they did, I'll think of it in a second, the baggage door will be ready to go. There we go. Let's go ahead and set engine 2 to start.
Doors equipped with an evacuation slide that can be detached from the aircraft and used as a raft.
Oh, you know what? I have to go ahead and set over to ignition mode. That's right.
Take a moment now to locate your closest exit and remember it may be behind you. If there is a change in cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will drop from overhead. Firmly pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic bands around your head, and tighten the straps on both sides. Even though the bag may not inflate, oxygen will be flowing. Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened, your seat bag is upright, your tray table is stowed, and all carrying items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of
Alright, let's go ahead and start number 1.
This is number 11 flight. Tampering with disabling or destroying smoke detectors and access restrooms is a federal offense and could result in a fine. For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, one in the front of the cabin and 2 in the back, and each is equipped with a changing table. We'll be adjusting the main cabin lights for departure if you need.
Let's go ahead and set our parking brake now.
For your attention, and we hope you enjoy this experience.
Alright, let's go ahead and do our flight controls check here real quick. Full forward, full back, full left, full right, and we'll get rudder full right, rudder full left. Awesome. Alright, we can go ahead and turn the APU off. Sorry about my dog, guys. Give me just a second here. I'm real sorry about that, guys. Okay. Go ahead and release our parking brakes, and we are ready to go. Now the goal is to take off the way that we came in. Obviously, we don't want to fly into those mountains right ahead of us, so. Go ahead and let them know to take their seats. And as we get up close to the runway, we'll go ahead and turn our lights on.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Now, taking up from this high up, you have less climb than you usually do at sea level, because the oxygen is thicker, or thinner, I mean, the air is thinner. There we go. My throttle didn't want to go on a toggle there for a second. I have two dogs, and it sounds like they're playing upstairs right now. Alright, we got V1 and rotate. We're way past V2, but we have positive rate, so we can go ahead and bring those gear up. What the hell is going on here? Okay, we got a cabin pressure warning. I'm not sure why we're getting that cabin pressure warning here. Let me set. If cabin altitude 14,000 feet, mask on. Why am I getting this cabin altitude problem right now? None of my doors are open. Let me look overhead. Everything overhead seems to be as it should. I think it might just be an issue with taking off so high up. Shit. Let me clear out Kimmore. There we go. Alright, our cabin altitude is holding steady. I think it was just because we started off so damn high. Ooh, that gave me a scare though. Wasn't quite sure what the hell was going on. Had a whole bunch of alarms going off in the cockpit. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the hell's going on here. Other than just what I've said before. I mean, we seem to still be flying alright, we seem to still be doing alright, so I'm just going to continue the flight as is. I don't see a reason to stop our flight now. Because it's not like our pressure's going up at all. It's staying at 10,105 or 150, which is pretty much where we were in Cusco. So I'm just setting everything up on my charts right now. I'm just trying to figure out where everything is on our... Okay, I see now. So we want to be at 3,000 by Isumo. So we need to start descending down to 3,000 pretty soon. There we go. Wait, no, what the hell? I don't know why. Pressure's still maintaining.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, to the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet elbows.
Yeah, I don't know what the plane's doing right now.
Coming through the cabin and galley cars shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating with the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Yeah, at Sea Mill, we will start our descent down to 3,000 feet. Forgot to turn off landing lights again. And I know that when we landed, I forgot to turn off the strobe lights. I just didn't say anything at the time. Sorry about the quiet, guys. I'm taking a few bites of my chips, and don't think you guys want to hear me munch it down. All right. All right. Now let's go ahead and I'll wait till we start ascent, and then we will go ahead and get our destination data. Alright, so we're looking at 1009. Okay. Okay, I'm entering it. Calm down, calm down. Temperature is going to be 32 degrees Celsius, nice and warm. Winds are... Jesus. 35005.
Begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach.
And our bureau
We ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate.
is 920. Alright. Now that we've got that plugged in, we are ready to fully fly the approach. Yeah, I don't really know what's been going on with the pressure system this flight. I just think it has to do with us taking off at 11,000 feet. I know in the CRJ, taking off from 0 in New Orleans, that kind of made the pressure system act a little bit weird. It did not like taking off from 0. Now, what is going on? I don't know what's going on with that whole situation there. But I know that we actually need to be down to 2,700. This airport that we're flying into, it is a small airport. I mean, very, very small. It is a runway and like 2 or 3 parking spots, and that is it. Hope everybody's been having a good Mother's Day. We'll go ahead and set our auto brakes to medium here for this one. This time we'll actually use auto brakes medium. Alrighty, we've got the VNAV track down. Let's go ahead and set 25% auto brake, or speed brake, I mean, sorry. Just to give the aircraft some drag on our descent. And into the jungle we go. We are descending into the Peruvian rainforest, the Peruvian Amazon rainforest, here in Puerto Maldonado. The approach is pretty straightforward. I mean, you just drop down to 3,000 and then you basically join up with the ILS here. As long as we get down to 3,000 by Izumo, then I'll just go ahead and manually make a left turn as we descend down to 2,700 feet and join the ILS for runway 1 in Puerto Maldonado. This is a flight that LATAM usually flies from Cusco over to Puerto Maldonado, but for the past couple of years with the COVID crisis and not having, you know, much tourism in the area, they haven't been flying the one from Cusco. They've all been flying flights from Lima. But just to kind of keep everything continuous for our stream today, we went ahead and flew in from Cusco. Our pressure system seems to have worked itself out now. And we're not going to switch over until 5,000 feet. It is definitely a gorgeous evening to fly. I do have my Twitch chat open. This approach is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just a straight in, so I don't have to watch my charts or anything like that. Oh, I see what it is. It probably just has that arc looking a lot bigger when you zoom out than it really is. Passing 14,000, we have 30 miles to get down to 3,000 feet. And then once we're down to 3,000 feet, I'll go ahead and activate our approach mode. That way we can slow this aircraft down and get ourselves ready for landing here. I'm going to zoom in at 20 miles now. As you guys can tell, it is jungle as far as the eyes can see. There's a few towns here and there, but it's a lot more remote in this part of the country, a lot more rural. Let me tell you from experience, it is absolutely gorgeous. It is worth the trip if you're ever planning on it. If you guys are ever in Peru, definitely make sure to visit the Amazon while you're there. Get a sip of Dr. Pepper real quick. We'll go ahead and add some speed brake here, just to make sure that we continue to descend as we slow down here. We'll get our landing lights on. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening to fly here in Peru. And funny enough, the time zone here in Peru is actually the same time zone. It's Central Time Zone. So it's the same as I have here in Chicago. So it is 5:04 local time, 5:04 p.m. Field's going to be somewhere off this way. Can't quite see it yet. And we'll just turn our landing system on so that I can go ahead and have that visual. Even though we have the ILS, I think I'm going to go ahead and fly a manual approach into the airport. I just need to make sure I actually have the field before I take over. Alright, we will activate our approach phase there. I'll go ahead and take over. It's my aircraft now. Alrighty. And flying the approach in. And I have the runway. Awesome. And we're dropping flaps, dropping gear.
Please prepare for landing.
$2,500.
Now, I know that when we get here, some of you might look at this airport and say, this airport seems a little bit small for an A320. But I can tell you, I flew in here on one in real life. They definitely fly airliners over here. Trying to talk and concentrate is definitely not my strong suit. That's why I've been quiet on the approach here.
1,000. $500. $400. 100 above. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Puerto Maldonado. We'll go ahead and let the aircraft roll out. We got to come all the way down to the end of the runway, turn around and taxi all the way back. Oh, no, I was incorrect. We landed opposite to what I landed in real life. This is where we're going, right here. No, aircraft, don't do that. Get the APU on before I forget again. And ladies and gentlemen, this is it right here. In real life, the building is not even that tall. And what you typically do is you'd pull into one of these spots right here, shut her down, disembark, re-embark, and then turn the engines on and just gas her up and turn them around. They don't even do pushbacks or anything here. Alright, APU is on, so we can go ahead and shut the engines down. I don't know why we just got that, I don't know why this turned on either. But anyway, let's get stairs if we can. I don't know if we can. Probably not, because it hasn't been working for me so far. Let's get our taxi light turned off so we're not blinding anybody there on the ground. Yeah, nope, we're not going to have stairs. That's okay, though. We'll just go ahead and turn the fasten seatbelt sign off. And we will call for baggage. Nope, no baggage here either. Oh, right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I certainly do hope that you guys enjoyed our flight this evening. Thank you all for joining us. For those of you watching later on YouTube, please feel free to join us every weekday at 7 p.m. We go live at 6:45 and start the action at 7. I do encourage anybody who is watching and wants to join us, please do. We always fly on the Vatsim network. I always try to go ahead and put up our all of our flight info on the ticker up above. So if you want to go ahead and grab the same flight plan and everything as we do, feel free to go ahead and copy it. But that is going to be it for us today. I will see you guys tomorrow in the brand new PMDG 737. That is, hopefully it releases tomorrow like they say it will. Once again, I'd just like to thank you all for joining us and have